Well, in this video, I'm going to go back and do another historical dive back to an early situation I ran into. And it has to do with tenacity and thinking outside the box. So this all started years ago. I graduated high school driving a 3-speed 46 Plymouth, 300 tree. So I was pretty top stuff, probably 18. And I drove down to the gravel yard, and there were some Hank Miner trucks there. They were good looking, polished, and looked nice, painted well. They were yellow trucks. So I went in and I asked, I walked in, I said, who owns those trucks? And the guy behind the counter said, I do, Hank Miner. I said, okay, good. I said, I'd like a job driving one of those yellow dump trucks. He said, well, you have any experience? I said, no, but I will have once you hire me. So he said, well, I don't have any openings right now. And, I said, well, can I leave my phone number with you? It's C457. We were on a cordboard in the town I lived in, small town. And he said, that's good. I said, you want to write that down? No, he said, I got it. I thought, okay. So this was probably on a Wednesday, I'm guessing. So Thursday morning, I get up early and I go down to the donut shop and I buy 2 donuts, one old fashioned and one with chocolate coated. And I'm not a big fan of chocolate, but anyway, they put them in a bag for me. I've got my thermos full of coffee. This is a metal thermos back then because I'm tired of the glass ones breaking all the time. I drive back down to the same place. I park my car out of the way and I go over to the little shed that is the office at this gravel yard and walk in and there's Hank again. I said, hi Hank. And he said, hi. And he said, weren't you here yesterday? And I said, yeah. And I said, you like donuts? And he said, sure. And Hank was about a quarter ton, maybe not quite, but almost. And so I had a good clue that he was going to like donuts. So I give him, I said, I just tear the bag open and set it up on the counter. And he said, I said, which one do you want? He hit the chocolate one, which I thought was good news. So I said, you got a cup? I got coffee here. He said, okay. And he turns around and gets his cup and sloshes it out and throws it in the garbage and throws the old coffee in the coffee grounds in the trash container. Puts his cup up there and I pour him a cup of coffee and I pour myself a cup of coffee in the cup that is the lid. And we sit there and we eat our donuts and we drink a little coffee and he answers the phone maybe or some such and comes back and he says, oh, okay, thank you for the donut. And I said, yep, no. See him. He said, okay, goodbye. So the next morning I got up about the same time and I went down and bought 2 more donuts. One chocolate for him and a glazed donut for me. And I had my thermos full of coffee and I drive up the same place, park the car, get out of the car and walk back in. He looks up and he said, it's you again. I said, yeah. He said, what do you want? I said, I want a job driving one of those fancy yellow trucks over there. He said, I haven't got any openings right now. I said, well, you like chocolate donuts? And he said, sure. So we had another chocolate donut, a cup of coffee. Shot the breeze a little bit. He's a likable enough guy. So get all done with that, and I go back out, go home. So Monday morning, I go down, stop early at the donut shop, buy a couple of donuts, got my coffee with my thermos. I go down there. As I park my car, Hank is not in the office. He's out on the front porch of this doghouse office, and he said, "Wow." He said, "You still looking for a job to drive that?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "You think you can drive that yellow truck over there?" I said, "Well, I drove that 3-speed manual transmission Plymouth over down here today." And he said, "Okay." So he goes over and he gets on the passenger side, and I jump up on the driver's side, and I drop my coat on the seat, get up on the seat, and the seat's a single seat, all air mounted, whatever. And I get in there and look, and they got 2 gas pedals, 2 long skinny pedals, and then a clutch that looks way oversized, clutch pedal. And he sits there and says, okay, watch this and I'll show you. And he's got a transmission like you'd see on a pickup or some stuff. And it had, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, and then there's another stick over on the other side, and that's the brown air, the auxiliary transmission. And it has the 4-speed. So it has first, second, third, and fourth in it, or under, first, or under, low, direct, and over. And I had no idea what that was. So anyway, so just use the big transmission, the main transmission, and just take it from second to third, wind it up pretty good in between gears, and you'll be fine. And here's this load sheet that the city, the small town I lived in, the city was looking for some gravel to fill in a trench where they were digging and placing a sewer line. Okay. So I knew right where that was, and I drove up there, and the guy said, "Okay, back up here." And I'm like, "Okay, where is this? This is first, so this reverse must be over here, or oh, that's first." Anyway, finally worked through that, and the guy was pretty patient. He knew who I was, lived in a small town. And I backed the truck up. He motioned me to stop, and I stopped. And Hank had showed me to engage the power takeoff. You have to take it out of gear, and you have to, engage the power takeoff, and let the clutch back out. Now you pull this lever up, and it goes down. You push it down, and it goes up. Seemed to make sense to me. And so anyway, I did that for whatever, and I come back, and I drive back down, and I stopped at the office, and I said, "I need another load sheet." The guy said, "What?" Hank said, "Why?" And I said, "Well, the guy said, just keep them coming. They're falling behind because nobody was there at 8 o'clock this morning when they're supposed to be." So now I'm running back and forth, and by mid-afternoon, I had figured out what the Brownie did and where it was, and when you could feel, where it was grinding a little bit to go to put it in. Okay, I figured that out. So in the middle of the afternoon, I'm going by, and I'm splitting gears, and I'm going up this long gravel driveway to the gravel yard. And dust is flying, and Hank is sitting out there just shaking his head like this. Another mistake I've hired on some kid. So I stayed with Hank for several years. And the next morning, this was a Monday morning, so I've been down there Thursday and Friday. Wally was the guy that was supposed to be driving the truck. He'd got liquored up over the weekend and gone out with some gal, and they stayed gone until Tuesday. So Tuesday morning he comes in, and I'm down there getting the load sheet. Wally walks up to Hank. "Well, I'm back." And Hank said, "You're fired." So he gives me the load sheet, and I go out. So I stayed with Hank for several years. So it shows you some persistence in trying to get hired and thinking outside the box. And by the way, I almost was out of money buying these 2 donuts every day. They were 10 cents a piece or something, and I probably had $1.50 in my pocket. So there's the story of how you get a job with persistence.